a lot of Hindu people will move into the area to be close to the temple. He's asking, after the approval of town on the subdivision, 999,000.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting?
When does he want to meet?
Oh, I didn't even ask him that. I I didn't even ask him that. I just said, because I written everything down. I kind of looked at it and I'm like, wow, what an interesting proposal. He kind of have everything, and he's already actually in the process of subdivision. And he even said that he contacted the township, and township is redrawing the plans and what do you call them? I'm drawing a blank.
Zoning.
Zoning. There you go. So
Yes.
they're rezoning it for 8 different lots.
Okay.
So they'll be finished with the process, I guess. I don't know when. Shortly. He didn't say
Okay.
when exactly.
All that is great. My first question is, when does he want to meet?
Yeah, I didn't even ask him, because the price of $1 million for everything, 999,000. I mean, it's not. I can't do anything with this. I'm not a
Yes, you
builder.
can. You can put it under contract and you can assign your contract. He wants 999,000. Okay. Let's put it under contract for 999,000, and let's go out there and assign the contract for 1.2
To who?
to a builder.
Do you know builders?
We can find them the same way we're going to find other people.
Okay. Okay. Should I be asking him when he's like when the paperwork comes in for subdivision, or it really doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. You can ask him when he likes to meet, and we can go meet him.
Okay. Because I think it's a big thing from what I realized is that it's really big thing when the plans got approved by the city already. That's much less work that the builder needs to do, and much less paperwork he needs to file.
Uh-huh.
So everything is kind of ready
Correct.
to start building right away.
Yep. Hi, Jess. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here. Hi.
Do you have any questions?
Not at the moment. No. Just chiming
Okay.
in, listening.
Okay. Nice being in the office today. Did you learn a lot from AJ today?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to
Okay.
hear the confidence of you guys. So it just makes me feel more confident.
You know, Chuck always says this, and I'm just going to keep repeating it. Action is your most valuable asset.
Yeah.
So, if you want to basically get the confidence, make the calls.
Make the calls.
You want to get the confidence, go on the appointments. You want to get the confidence, hang around in the environment.
Yeah.
Come in here once a week, come in here twice a week, see what we're doing, see how we're doing it, and, put in on some of the calls we're making.
Yeah. I plan on doing that.
And then if you need to, make one call, and then we make a call, you make one call, we make one call.
Yeah.
And then eventually you start making 2 calls, and then we make one call, and then you make 3 calls, and we make no calls, and then you can go home and do it by yourself.
Yeah. That's what I would like to do. That's what
Yeah.
I need.
So, I mean, we're here to be your support system and help you in any way we can.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if there's no other questions at this time, I'm going to start talking about my topic tonight. As you know, my name is not AJ. My name is Clinton, and AJ and I switched for the week because we're actually going to another event on Thursday. So AJ will be on Thursday instead of on tonight. So my topic tonight that I'll be sharing with you is a common topic that it's been around for years. It's been around, even before, basically there was something called mortgages. All right. It's called a short sale. If you ever watched the movie The Big Short, okay, if you haven't, watch it. It's a great movie. Shorts have been existent in stocks. It has been existence in buy and sell and in the housing system when, the big crash happened in 2005, 6, and all the way up to 2008. We seen short sales become very, very rampant, meaning that it's very popular. So if you are to define what a short sale is, it's when the bank takes a less amount of money that is owed to them for a property that they gave money on. So, for example, let's say the bank loaned you $200,000 and they came out and did an evaluation on your property and your property is only worth 150. The bank is going to then approve 150 as the sale price for the property and allow you to purchase it at 150. That is considered a short sale. They're selling the property to you at a shorted amount, or like Vlad just said, yes, Sean just said, a discounted rate.
Yes, sir.
So
Sorry to be late.
it's okay. There are many different ways to go about short sales. Okay. The first thing that you had a question?
Sorry.
Okay. The first thing you want to figure out is, how do I find these short sale deals? You don't go around advertising looking for short sales. You don't go around advertising looking for subject twos. You don't go around looking for assignment of contracts. You market to a mass amount of people. You market to everyone. And these deals will come across your table every single day or every single week you go on an appointment. We have a specific list that we market to. We market to people who are 30, 60, 90 days behind on their payments. We market to a list called pre-foreclosure lists. Where do we find this list? We can find it in any county, Bergen, Passaic, Hudson. If you're in another state, you could find it in your county. If you're in New York, you could go to the courthouse in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. They have a sale date for every county that they have. If you're in another state like Florida, you could go to your county and they will have it there as well too. So you can find these lists of people who are facing foreclosure publicly on their website. It's called list pendants. A list pendants list means a lawsuit pending against an individual. When that lawsuit is pending, okay, what is going to happen? It is made public record that someone is coming after you because you owe them money and you defaulted. So they have to file that lawsuit. And there are two different types. Some states are judicial states. New Jersey is considered a judicial state where they have to go through the judicial process where foreclosure can take anywhere from 12 to 24 months. Then we have the non-judicial states. We have the states like we can go to Texas and we can foreclose on someone in 3 to 4 months because they're non-judicial. They don't have to go through the whole entire process. So once we figure out what state we're in and we have our list and people who we're going to market to, we're going to go through the entire process of skip tracing that list. And once we skip trace that list, we're going to get their numbers and we're going to call them. You're going to use the same information that you received in your smile and dial list. And you're going to smile and dial and call them and say, "Hi, Mr. Seller. I'm interested in purchasing your house. Are you still interested in selling?" They may say yes, they may say no. Regardless of what they say, you're going to share your information with them. You're going to share that you got their information from the court. You're going to share that you got their information because it's public record, and you want to know if they're interested in selling. Excuse me. And if they're interested in selling, you're going to ask them the same questions that we ask in our sheet. Okay, can you tell me, how much you owe on the property? I'm going to use round numbers. I'm going to say I owe $200,000. Can you tell me what you're asking for the property? Okay, I'm going to use another round number. I'm going to say I'm asking $200,000. Okay, then I'm going to ask you what the property is worth. And I'm going to use round numbers. I'm going to say 150 based on the information that I gave you before. Okay, so if you owe 200, you're asking 200, but the property is only worth 150. Unfortunately, I can't pay you 200 for a property is only worth 150. Right now, your property is upside down, Mr. Seller. So in this case, I would have to do what's called a short sale. What's a short sale? A short sale is where you're upside down on your house and you owe more to the bank than your house is worth in today's market. So I would need to collect some documents from you. And here's a list of the documents I would need to collect from you. And, I would give you some time to gather it so that we can contact the bank and see how we can move forward. Okay, great. So a list of the documents that you're going to need to collect from the seller, and you may want to write these down. And the standard documents is you're going to want to basically get a copy of their driver's license to make sure they are who they say they are. Because you don't want to buy a house and find out the person you're buying the house from is not the person that owns the house. Okay? You want to get a copy of their mortgage statement. The mortgage statement is going to allow you to see who the bank is, what their contact number is, basically where to send the fax that you're going to send over requesting a payoff, where you're going to send all the documents when you collect them, and then where you're going to go online to download the borrower assistance package. Every bank has what's called a borrower assistance package. That package is required to be filled out and sent in so that they can tell you whether the borrower qualifies for a modification, a short sale, or a deed in lieu, or none of the above. And once you send that in, depending on the bank, they will tell you what else they would need. Most banks are going to need the following: hardship letter. The hardship letter is going to explain the hardship that the individual is going through, why they fell behind, why they're not working, why they're not able to pay their payments. Okay, that's what the hardship is going to explain. And if there's any sickness in there, any surgeries in there, any loss of job in there, you want to include that in the hardship. I have a situation where someone has sclerosis and they can't walk very much and they can't do any work very much. And I had someone that had terminal cancer. They can't go back to work because they can't, they gave them a short amount of time to live. So I put all that in the hardship letter, whatever it is that can plead their case. Okay, and after you put that in there, the next thing you want to get is their bank statements. Today they're asking for 2 months. Back in the day, they were asking for 3 months bank statements. So you would just need the last 2 months bank statements. Okay. Then you would need pay stubs. Okay. You need the last 2 weeks pay stubs, or last 2 pay stubs if they get paid bi-weekly, or the last 2 pay stubs if they get paid weekly. So all you need is 2. And once you get that done, you're going to put that all together and you're going to fax it over or email it over to the bank at the number they give you. Now, between the time of you getting your contract signed, your authorization, and getting the mortgage statement, you should have already ordered a payoff. That would have been your first visit. Okay. Your second visit, when you go back to see them, you will be collecting all these documents that you're going to leave them a checklist with. And when you collect those documents, you should have everything you need to submit your short sale packet. Once you submit your short sale packet, give it 24 to 48 hours. Okay. within 24 to 48 hours, you should call the bank back and ask them, can I speak to the loss mitigation department? You're going to go through your verification process. You're going to go through giving them the loan number, the last four of the social, and the name of your company that you submitted the short sale authorization in. Then after they verify you, ask them if you're speaking to the loss mitigation department or the short sale department. They're both the same. And then if you're not, ask them for that direct number. Then you would ask them if they received the documents. They say yes, great. Okay, when can we schedule the appraisal or the BPO? If they have everything they need, there is no reason why they shouldn't be able to schedule that within 24 to 48 hours. Now, scheduling it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll happen in 24 to 48 hours. It just means that you, as the point of contact, will get a call in 24 to 48 hours. You will then contact the seller, or if you have access to the house and the house is vacant, you will then make arrangements to meet them there. You will meet the BPO agent, which is usually a realtor or a broker, and you will meet the appraiser, which is usually a third-party company, and sometimes you will meet both. You meet them, you walk them through the house, you basically, show them everything that's wrong with the house, everything that's right with the house, so that they can come back and give you the value. Once they give you the value, you ask them, okay, when do you think this will come back? And they'll tell you, okay, they should have it in 24 to 48 hours. That usually means a week.
Nice.
All right. So you still call them back in 24 to 48 hours and ask them if they received the appraisal, the evaluation, the BPO, whatever they were waiting for. And if they received it, great. If they haven't, just tell them, okay, I will follow up with you in 24 hours. So most of the short sale stuff is follow up, follow up, follow up.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to be able to, have a system in place where you have a checklist. Okay. This is the initial part of the document collection. And if you're missing a document, no problem. Take the documents you have, check off the checklist, and then say, Mr. Seller, I'm going to follow up with you within 24 hours. How soon do you think you can get these other documents to me? All right. And instead of you going back to them, ask them to email it to you or scan it to you. There are many different systems you can use, like CamScan, Adobe Scan, Picture Scan, that you can scan things on your phone and they can scan things on their phone and send it to you instead of you having to drive there all the time. So if you're missing a document, it's not the end of the world. So now after the 24, 48 hours has passed and they basically say, okay, the evaluation is in, okay, and they're basically saying that they're reviewing all the documentation. So they're going to tell you that it's going to take another 24 to 48 hours to come up with a decision. Now, from start to finish, this process can take 30 days if everything happens in line, but it never does, okay? Sometimes you'll call them and they say they never received the documents you initially faxed them.
Yeah.
Then you have to fax it again. Sometimes they'll call and say, oh, the appraisal has not come in. So you have to keep calling again. And then sometimes they'll say, well, that person working on the file is no longer working on it. I need you to send me everything over. So there'll be issues. And whatever those issues are, you just have to be organized enough so that you can go to your computer, you can pull it up, and you can ask them for an email address while you're on the phone with them, and you can email it to them right away and make sure they received it and got confirmation. So fast forward, they received all the documents. Right now, all you're going to do is ask them, okay, is my offer accepted or denied? And in some cases, you're going to do that in an email. In some cases, you're going to use a system to do that. Most people have a system called Equator. Other people, they use another system that they use online. NewRes uses a different system online. So it depends on who you're using and who you're doing the short sale with, that they're going to tell you what system that you're going to use and upload your documents in. So once they tell you your short sale is approved, ask them how soon will you receive the approval letter. Okay. And then once your short sale is approved, it's time to do your happy dance. It's time to get your funding in place. It's time for you to, pay it off. And you're going to pay it off using whatever financing you're going to use, whether you're going to use your own money, whether you're going to use hard money, whether you're going to use, get a mortgage. However you're going to do it, you pay it off. In most cases, as an investor, we're doing this to buy, fix, and flip. Okay? Or as an investor, we're doing this to buy and flip. So you're going to use hard money, and that hard money you use will pay off the A to B transaction. Then your end buyer will come in and use their money to pay off the B to C transaction. And then your attorney will then get you a check for the difference. So if we basically brought this property at 200, we got it short saled for, let's say for
150.
No, that's what it's worth. It's worth
Okay.
150.
Okay.
So we get it short saled to 130.
Oh wow.
And then I resell it to someone at 150.
Okay.
Okay, because it's only worth 150.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's a $20,000 spread, but after my closing costs, I'm only walking away with about $12,000 to $15,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the overview and the broad view of a short sale. The intricate parts of it is going to be organization. Okay, you're going to have a system where you're collecting documents, you're scanning documents, and you're keeping it in the files on your computer or in a paper file that you have in your office that you have on the lock and key. Okay, you're going to have to be able to keep dates, because if you get a date that is today and they tell you, okay, it's going to be ready in 24 to 48 hours, which will basically tell us that's Thursday. If you don't call back Thursday, you're losing days and time. So you have to have a reminder system that's going to tell you, okay, I need to call Bank of America Thursday on 123 Main Street. So if you're working 9 to 10 files, you have to have set alerts either in your phone, on your calendar, or somewhere that's going to remind you that you need to call this person at this time to follow up on this deal. I use my phone, I set alarms, and I use a reminder app, and it rings on my phone, and then it rings on my watch. So whatever system you develop and you want to use, you use. Okay? Before I continue, I'm going to stop here and ask if there's any questions.
When you call the bank or the lender to initiate the short sale, do you do you get the person you make contact with, do you ask for like their personal info, like their direct line, their telephone number or email address, or any method that they prefer to be communicated by in the short sale process? Or
if I'm going to be assigned a particular person, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They send me their email. They say that they are the authorized representative for this file, and they are the person I'll be in touch with all the time.
Okay.
And in some cases that's the case, but in other cases it's not.
Okay.
Like if you call a bank like Shell Point, you're going to get a different person every time. But if you call a bank like Chase, you're going to get the same representative on that file every time. So depending on the bank, you'll get a different rep or an assigned representative.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
It's always best to get the assigned representative because you can communicate with them directly at their email address.
Okay.
And they don't have to go through the file to figure out, what's going on. I'll give you a perfect example. So as we do this, one of the people I work with, Gabby, in my office, basically got a short sale extended not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Okay.
And they were going to close the file today because the thing expired. So I got on the phone with the rep and I asked the rep, can he give us another extension? And he asked why.
No.
He said the evaluation that we did expired today. So in order for him to give us another extension, he has to do a new evaluation.
Oh wow.
So I told him it's not of our fault. We can close 2 weeks after we get the second to approve the short sale.
Okay.
So then he said, what documents did you send to the second? And when did you send the documents to the second? So we told them we sent it to them on Wednesday last week. We confirmed yesterday that they received them. And then all he wanted us to do was to get him on the phone with the second while he's listening in the background to confirm what we said was true. And about an hour later, we got an extension. We got a fourth extension just by getting on the phone with the representative. So sometimes it's not, just saying that it's dead, it's asking. All right. And if you ask and you have your proof and everything that you need, you can show them. They're willing to work with you because all they want is their money.
Yeah.
They want their money so they can pay off the debt, so they can move on and they can have money to free up in their books.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
So now we have 2 weeks to get this approval from the second, so we can close two weeks later because the extension is for 30 days. Hey, Dom. Any other questions?
Hey, Linton, how are you?
I'm well.
I have a quick question. Who provides the letter of hardship? Do we provide that, or do the seller have to write it?
The seller has to write it. I cannot write your hardship letter.
We'll write it by hand.
All right. I can sit with you, and I'm just going to role play right now. Hi, Jess. How are you?
Doing good. Hi.
All right. So I understand that you're behind on your payments. Can you give me a little bit of history of how you fell behind?
I lost my job due to COVID.
Okay. How long ago was that?
About a year ago.
All right. Do you see yourself going back to work or not going back to work?
No, not really. No time soon.
Okay. Can you tell me why? Is there some health issues in there, or is it just because you can't find work?
Well, probably because I can't find work and I'm just collecting unemployment.
Okay. What kind of work do you like to do?
Well, I was a nurse.
Okay.
I was a nurse for 15 years.
Okay. And I guess with that profession right now and COVID being rampant, you're kind of scared to get back into the field?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So how are you going to pay your bills?
Well, I've just been paying it with the unemployment that I've been getting, but I still fell a little behind.
Okay, and what happens when unemployment runs out?
I haven't thought about that yet.
All right. So right now your hardship is that, you're scared to go back to work because of the nursing field. You don't want to get COVID, and you're scared of bringing it home to your kids. You've been there 15 years, and, we would just put that on paper. Everything you just told me, I would just write on paper, and they will sign.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to put anything in there that you didn't tell me because they're going to call you and confirm your hardship.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Another question.
Linton. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, did you say New Jersey was judicial?
Yes,
state?
New Jersey is a judicial state that you have to go 12 to 18 months before the sheriff sale.
Okay, 12 to 18.
Wow.
With the redemption, is there a redemption timeline too, or there's no redemption timeline?
After the sale date, you have 10 days to redeem basically the property by paying the arrears. But if you can't redeem it after 10 days, it's done.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
Vlad, you had a question?
Yeah, you mentioned that when everything is said and done and you go market it to an end buyer, and you kind of said to do a double close. Why can't you do an assignment?
Why can't you do an assignment when you're
right
paying it off with the first money?
Well, yeah, like you said, everything is done. You got the house, let's say, with hard money
because the
for.
approval is going to be in your company's name. And that if you're going to do an assignment, that person has to come with cash.
Oh, I see. So you have to buy it first, and
Yes,
then you have to sell it to an end buyer right away. So
that
it's
is
A to
correct.
B, B to C. Okay.
Yes, you can send it to an end buyer right away if they're going to bring cash. But if they're not bringing cash, you're going to probably have to hold it for 30 to 90 days.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I thought that you can just assign it, but yeah. Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah, so these short sales back in 2008, 2009, you could do double closing and you could assign and you can just resell. But with the new restrictions, they're putting 30-day restrictions in the resale. They're putting 90-day restrictions. They're saying you can't sell the property for more than 120% more than what you brought it at within 90 days. So you have to wait for the 91st day to sell it above $100,000 profit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What if there is no 100 whatever $20,000 profit? What if
Then on the
the
31st day,
margin is
you can
thin?
resell it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else has any questions?
Oh.
Right now, me no.
All right. Where do we look for these short sales? You can look anywhere for them. The list that you have that we give you is a whole bunch of people who are behind 30, 60, and 90 days. Okay. You can go to bankruptcy court. People who file bankruptcy usually have an asset attached. If you go to Newark at the bankruptcy court, they basically have a list of all the bankruptcy cases and it tells you right there next to it if there's any assets attached to it. You take a picture of that list, you can reach out to those people and see if they want to sell. The beauty of that is that, if they sell their property, the bank is not coming after them for the money because they already discharged it in bankruptcy. Okay.
Linton, oh, sorry.
Yes.
Is that list you're talking about in Newark, you have to go to that branch to get that list, or is it accessible
Yes.
online?
You have to go to the bankruptcy court in Newark to get that list.
Okay.
Right there on Raymond Boulevard, Seton Hall, right there.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I could just look that up. Just how would I Google that to just find the building?
Bankruptcy court in Newark.
Okay.
Google.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You could go talk to lawyers. You could call bankruptcy lawyers. You could call them and ask them if they have any clients that, have an asset they would like to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way you can buy it from them and then they can avoid foreclosure.
Okay.
So how do you speak to the lawyer? You just ask a question. Do you have
Hi,
any
my name is Linton. I have a company that buys and sells pre-foreclosures. Do you have any clients that have a house that they just filed bankruptcy on that are looking to sell and avoid foreclosure? You can mail them letters in the mail. You can
Got
find
it.
bankruptcy attorneys and just send letters out to them in the mail. All these marketing methods that I'm just sharing with you are things that I've done in the past. You could put it up on your website. If you don't have a website, you could go build a free website and then put it up on your website and make it be your landing page. We buy houses in foreclosure. We buy houses in bankruptcy. And that's a whole nother source of people where you can get houses. See, we don't just look for one way to buy a house. We market to the masses, and as they come in, we decide what we're going to do with it. Short sales are just an angle that we get most of our deals from because they're so prevalent.
What about on market short sales? Like if we see a realtor that's trying to sell a short sale.
Okay. If they are willing to allow you to do the short sale, yes. If they're not allowing you to do the short sale, no, thank you.
No.
So how would you go about that? Just say, like,
Hi, Jess.
hey, I
I
got my
noticed your property at 123 Main Street is an on-market short sale. What are you asking for it?
100,000.
100,000?
Yep.
Well, based on my research, the value says it's only worth 85. So if I give you a contract for 70, can you submit that?
Okay. Okay.
All right, awesome. And is it okay if I contact the bank so I can, follow up on the file?
Okay.
Awesome. I'm going to send you over an authorization to release information. Please have the seller sign this for me and submit it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I mean, that sounds pretty simple. So is that taken away from them collecting commission or anything, or
Nope. I'm
no?
not
It doesn't.
stealing your money from you. You're going to get your full commission when the property sells. I just want to be involved in the process.
Yeah. So it's not good to let them handle it.
They
Too
can,
much
but
time.
I don't like anyone doing what I can do best.
Yeah. Okay.
Too much time will confuse the issue.
That's fair. Because I know I've came across some short sales that was like on market, and it would say short sale, and then the price
Uh-huh.
would be low, and it's just like, so why isn't anybody buying it? But I guess because some people don't know how to go about it.
Short sales averagely will take anywhere from 3 months to 9 months
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. But the average short sale should take about 30 to 45 days if you're doing it correctly and you're following up on it and you're basically on top of the bank.
Okay. All about the follow up.
Yeah. And then after that 45 days, you still need 45 more days to get your financing and everything in place.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's why it takes so long. People run away from them.
Okay.
But if you get involved in this business, maybe you look for short sales in areas where the property is only worth 150. So you get it shorted to 100, you get financing for 100, and then you hold them for 5 years and sell them again for 150.
Wow. Okay. Got it.
Real estate is the only asset that keeps going up in value. The house that my mother brought, the person next to my mother brought their house for $30,000 in 1950. Okay, 10 years or later, all right. After we moved onto the block, so we're talking about 2010. All right, they sold their house for $375,000.
Nice.
Today, that same house is worth $650.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is
So-
only another 10 years.
So the market is going to just keep going up, 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 and up. So if you buy an asset and you hold on to it for 5 years, it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah. Linton,
Yes.
question. So where do you see the market going, given they keep pushing back all these dates in regards to evictions and things of that nature, and just the way the market's going right now? Do you feel there's going to be some type of correction, or are things just going to keep being the way they are, where prices are astronomical?
Well, there will be a correction that comes when basically the rentals, like right now, the evictions are happening, so the homeowners are not going to be able to pay their mortgages because they have no tenants, or they
Right.
have bad tenants who are not paying the mortgage right now, so they're falling behind. So I see the market going back to 2008, where there's going to be a lot of foreclosures, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to sell their property. Right now,
Okay.
we're on an uphill because the prices on the market are going up, and I think that'll continue again for another 4 or 5 months, and then we'll see the correction taking place.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Linton.
You're welcome. All right, so welcome. You guys are all a part of the C4. Once again, I encourage you all to take part in the chat. I encourage you all to get on the phone and make your calls on a daily basis. reach out to the people, set the appointments, reach out to AJ, Chuck, myself, so that we can all, get your first couple of deals locked up, and then that you yourself can go out there and, see that this actually works. We actually, don't follow conventional buy and sell real estate. We basically practice, a ready, fire, aim tactic where we basically tell you, if you get someone on the phone, set the appointment, we'll work out everything else later. Okay? Because if we get someone on the phone and we set the appointment and we buy the property, guess what? We can figure out how we're going to sell the property at a later time. All right. So the goal here is to get you all successful so you can continue, to be successful and live your dreams. And remember, we all have dreams, goals, and ambitions. So let's work towards them, because Jess, you're going to Jamaica, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yes,
Jamaica.
yes. Jamaica,
I
Jess.
remember.
Come on, Jess.
So,
You can do it.
we have to work toward those goals every single day.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
Yes.
one of mine is London
Wow.
in about 6 months,
Woo.
and I'm working towards it every day.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
London.
Yeah.
London is nice. I want to visit London too.
You want
All
to
right.
live in London?
Does anyone else have any questions before I end the stream?
No.
I'm good.
All right. I thank you, Vlad. I thank you, Dominique. I thank you, Sean, and I thank you, Jess.
Thank
This
you
is
too,
the
sir.
boss signing out. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
sir.
night.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your time.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.